Hey everybody, Dr. Tom over the Active Healing Center. We're going to take these next several videos between Chris and I. We're going to start talking about some of the more common physical problems that we see in our office that we, unfortunately as human beings, have to deal with in life, such as low back pain, sciatica, headaches. These are types of problems that are very common and if not dealt with properly in a timely manner can become very devastating to the way we want to live our lives. But I thought we'd start off with hitting on some symptomatology, hitting some of the common symptoms that we want to kind of clue into to tell us, hey, there's a problem here, we need to get some help. And thought we'd start hitting on that because there are some red flags that we can look into because, we all deal with certain symptoms throughout our life. And if you're like me, I don't want to be running to the chiropractor or the doctor every time I wake up with some symptom, but certainly want to know, well, when is it time to get help? And that's kind of where we want to go with this before we start talking specific problems. So a few of the main symptoms that we have to deal with are certainly one, we've all dealt with it in some sort of way in our lifetime, is pain. And we're talking physical pain, not mental pain, emotional pain. We're talking physical pain. We've all dealt with it. It can be tricky because why? Pain by nature comes and goes. Your body's dynamic, has a great way of adapting and keeping us moving forward. So pain comes and goes. So it can be a little tricky on saying, hey, well, when is it time to go get help? So pain would be number one. Number two, we're going to call this nerve dysfunction. Or another way of saying it would be nerve irritation. And again, once a nerve is involved, this becomes really important to really clue into when a nerve is getting involved. And just because a nerve may be getting irritated or dysfunctional, just because of that, does not necessarily mean we're going to have pain. So we want to kind of clue into when a nerve is getting involved and when do we go get help for that. And the last one we can hit on here is a loss of function or a loss of mobility. And this becomes critical to how our body is functioning and maybe the trickiest one of all to kind of figure out, well, when's it time to get help? But let's jump back here to pain. So by nature, pain can be manifested in a variety of ways. You can be dull, achy pain, sharp shooting pain, stabbing pain, radiating pain, mild, moderate, severe. So it can run the gamut in terms of how it presents itself. So when is it time to get help? And the red flag I'm going to use here is 7 to 10 days. Doesn't seem like a long period of time, but like I said before, your body's very dynamic. Its job is to keep us moving forward and not let problems, keep us down. So if the problem's been there, pain has been there for 7 to 10 days or longer, your body's basically just crying out that it needs help to get whatever's going on, that underlying issue, there's something going on in there that needs help. We need to get some help to move it forward. The quicker we jump on it, technically, it's the easier time to deal with it. The longer it's there, usually it's the bigger the problem it is. So we're going to use that time frame of 7 to 10 days, and that's it. I'm not using with the quality of pain, the severity of the pain, so I don't care if it's a dull, achy pain, if it's mild, moderate, severe. It doesn't matter to me. Because once it's there for longer than 7 to 10 days, your body's telling you it needs help. So that's going to be our red flag there. So now nerve dysfunction, again, it can manifest itself in a lot of different ways. Because once a nerve gets involved, tingling, numbness, pins and needles, coolness, coldness, heat in the extremities, it could be weakness, atrophy, all these different types of symptoms. Because the nerves are the communication between brain and body. So once the nerve is involved, that's a problem. And that becomes our red flag. Is once that symptom kicks in, or once we notice it, that's when it's time to get help. So once you start noticing that, hey, I wake up and my foot's numb, well, that's a problem. We've all woken up at times and we've slept on our hand, or we all sleep in crazy positions. We sleep on our hand and all of a sudden our whole arm goes numb. Well, that's, not really an issue that we need to deal with. That's just the way you were sleeping. But if we're just sitting there and all of a sudden my hand starts going numb, it starts getting tingling and numbness in there, pins and needles, whatever, that is the red flag to say there is an underlying issue in there that's affecting our nerves. This needs help now. And again, the sooner we jump on it, the easier it is to get it back on track. Because again, I'm going to say this again, just because we get nerve irritation does not mean we're going to have pain. Now, once a nerve gets involved, it can certainly create pain. It can certainly cause a severe stabbing, shooting, radiating pains that are devastating. And this is not where we want to be. So once you start to notice any type of symptoms, again, tingling, numbness, weakness, atrophy of a muscle, pins and needles, all these different things that could rear their head. Once you start to notice it, that's when it's time to go get help. The last one here, again, could be the trickiest one to start to deal with, or given the red flag, when is it time to get help? Because by its nature, again, a loss of mobility, a loss of function. Right? Because what happens as we get older, we like to use age as the reason why we lost function. Well, I can't move anymore. I'm getting older. I can't move the way I used to. You know, you hear it all the time. So it gets a little tricky. Because again, something I cannot stand to hear, but we do hear it a lot, is the new normal. All right, it's my new normal for how I'm living my life. Well, my red flag for a loss of function is once we start to have to alter the way we do our daily activities. Once we start to alter a little bit of our daily activities, let's say I'm going to put the dishes away, and I used to take a dish and be able to put it up into the cabinet, but now all of a sudden at that point, it's a little sore, it's a little achy. Or what we tend to do as human beings is we don't want to have to run or admit that we have a problem, right? So what do? We use the other hand. There, I'm fine. Once we start to have to alter that little bit of daily activity, there's your red flag to there's a problem. Something's going on, and your body should not be functioning that way. You can do it, a lot of times I hear in my office, has to do with driving, right? So people are driving. All of a sudden, they can't turn their head anymore, so now they start to have to turn their whole body to look out the windows. That's a red flag. That's a sign that your body, those joints have lost function. They've already lost function. They're not losing function. They've already lost function in there. That's a sign to go get help. So your red flag for a loss of functional ability is, again, once you start to have to alter that daily activity, your normal stuff that you do every day, once you start changing that, it's a problem. Go get help. Now, typically, because of the way life is, usually it's some sort of combination of things going on here. A loss of function, maybe you get some pain. It may start off as some soreness. Turn our head, it's a little sore. All right? But again, we blow those things off because I'm running to the doctor, it's fine, I can still move and do this. But those are the little bit of signs there that there's an issue. Maybe it is just a little bit of tingling numbness. Once I get up and move, I'm fine, no big deal. But those are the signs that there are problems. And again, the sooner we jump on it, the easier it is, much easier to take care of it and get your body back to a high level of function, because that's our goal, is always to get your body to its optimal level of function, wherever that may be, is always to get it there. The longer we wait, the longer we let these problems sit and manifest, well, unfortunately, sometimes we do have to come up with a new normal for the way you're going to live your life, because you've lost certain function. Could be due to things like degeneration, all these types of issues that can start to rear their head, the way the muscle deteriorates, all these things that can go on in your body. We don't want to let it get to that point where you have to come up with new normals for the way you're going to live your life. So the sooner, the better. Take some of these red flags, real simple little things, but if you jump on it, you can keep your body functioning at a really high level. If you have any problems with something, reach out. Get in touch with us. If it's something that I can help you with, great. We're going to help put a plan together for you. If it's something I can't, well, we have a lot of great people that we can refer you to help you out. So any issues, give us a call. But hope this helped. Take care.